Can you restart the song?
You want to restart it?
Yeah.
I can honor a request like that, of course. Why not?
Adrenaline in my soul. Something, Cody Rhodes.
All right, Tulo. There's a little delay, so it's not going to sound right. I have to do it, okay?
Okay, let's do it again.
You don't sing. Okay? I'll
play the piano.
Adrenaline in my soul. Something, Cody Rhodes. Now, I mean, holy shit. Let's just get, I mean, we're not doing the
Fuck a soft opening.
No time to wait. Comedians Wrestling Podcast, you get it. I'm the best podcaster, funniest podcaster in the motherfucking universe. Turn on my podcast, I'll fucking kill you. Patreon.com/Comedians Wrestling. If you're not supporting this podcast, then fucking eat a dick salad. I don't know what else to say. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Then stop, you don't got $2 for us a month, and fucking eat my ass. The shit's free. We do it ourselves. We do this during our fucking lunch breaks and shit. You know what I mean? All right. You know what I mean? A lot of blood, sweat, tears, and Cody's goes into this. Patreon.com/Comedians Wrestling. Holy shit. All right. So, hilarious. This week, podcast got delayed because of the Super Bowl. The recording times got pushed. Everyone was busy, and I was like, going to record on Monday. And then I was like, you know what? Let's have Monday Night Raw happen. And I was like, I'm going to let Monday Night Raw happen so I can watch that when we record the podcast. I'll put it out late, but I had watched another product for the show. So we were in the road to Mania, well, the road to Jeddah. And I was like, I'm going to watch that. Now, the amazing gift in disguise here was that waiting, we would get probably the biggest piece of wrestling news in a long fucking time. I mean, I don't know. I'm not even going to waste time debating like what counts as a big story, what doesn't. But I believe this to be the most important piece of wrestling news just because it shakes up the foundation of the current state, the current ecosystem of professional wrestling in a major way. So, reported and confirmed also when I'm recording this on both Tony Khan's social, on Cody's social media. We had known for a while that Cody Rhodes and Brandy were operating in AEW sans contract. It's reported that they have not been able to come to an agreement about their AEW contract, and that Cody Rhodes, this is not at this time technically confirmed by Cody. The only thing we have confirmed is that Cody's gone from AEW. That's the only thing we have confirmed right now, and Brandy. But most outlets, most sheets are reporting that he is going to WWE. Now, I'm going to say this, and I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but I've been hearing this for a long time that Cody's going to WWE, okay? And I've been hearing it from pretty reputable people, you know what I mean? But, like, whatever. That's not really what I do here, you know what I mean? I don't just report, like, rumors I'm hearing and this and that. I'm having fun with what I'm watching most of the time, marking out, But it's made me think about the actual possibility, and I think also that we've been having so many things have happened in wrestling that recently that I would say would never happen, that I'm just open to anything. Nothing surprises me anymore. I don't know if you're in that place, Tulo, also.
Same. Yeah.
Nothing really surprises me right now. And so Cody going to WWE still, even though I knew it was going to happen, I'm still surprised by it. Is that fucking, like, even in this zone where nothing surprises me, Daniel Bryan, Moxley, and AEW, Jericho,
well,
I just, this is surprising to me, and I have a lot of thoughts about it. But Tulo,
so many.
By the way, the Supermarket Nick Tulo at Tiptoe with Tulo. I know you're chomping, you're Tommaso chomping at the bit.
I am.
Made his Raw re-debut in it.
Did that actually happen?
Yeah, on Raw on Monday, which we could talk about for a second. I watched Raw, very anticlimactically. Ziggler, to be honest, is kind of running circles around Ciampa, which is very fun for me. But that's kind of irrelevant. What do you want to say, Tulo? What do you want to say?
Well, this is what I love about professional wrestling.
Is it that fact that it's never about wrestling? It's all. It's like
This
This is
is
what you
so
can't explain to
fucking.
people.
This is the beautiful chaos that wrestling is, right? Wherein lies the work, okay? There are so many different ways that this is a work, right? Because in fact, it has to be in some kind of way, right? I mean, we talked about this weeks ago, where one of my theories is that they were dangling the carrot out there for WWE,
Yeah.
see if they'll take a little nibble. And you know what? Maybe WWE bit, and they're like, shit, if Cody's working under a contract and not or working without a contract, let's just offer him a ton of money and see what happens.
Tulo, before I forget this thought,
Yeah.
you said where is the work?
Yeah.
Is AEW the work in general? Meaning the fact that Cody is not a lock to stay in AEW,
It's
and
so
that
cool.
Cody
This is
comes
the
out,
best.
smashes the Triple H's throne. You know what I mean? The
Right.
chair, which by the way I sent you the meme.
Like the last person you would think, right?
Yes.
But also the most obvious person that you would think would go would be Cody. So it's like so many different ways. It's on complete opposite ends of the spectrum where it's just like this makes sense that like, hey, contracts are expiring in AEW now, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the first defector over to fucking WWE? You might
Why
as well
not
make it the
have
top guy.
the return of Stardust is what people are looking for. They want it.
Okay, I don't
He's going right into the star paint.
honestly, you can lean even that far into it because I honestly think
Tula, why are you so
this.
loud again? Can you make you less loud?
I'm just excited. Sorry.
Because I'm putting this out so quick that we're not even gonna have time to
It
master
sounded
the
really
audio.
good last
Okay,
episode.
fine. Then I want to
Not
make
gonna
sure.
lie. I went back and listened.
To the point that this is so breaking. I'm not even editing this part out. So okay, so
No.
they're getting this.
So
So,
there's
yeah.
just so many levels to this,
Okay, so
right?
let me.
And what the thing I keep coming down to is, uh, uh, you have to just breathe for a second and understand how fucking cool this is. We finally reached that point.
I don't
Incredible
want to
shit.
breathe and think it's cool. I want to panic and in like a dumb mark, okay? Because I want to panic. I want to get nuts. Let's get nuts. AEW, I have so many thoughts, so many places I want to go. Now, I'm going to start with the most fun place, even though this is
Yes.
I will say this is the
I
dumbest
think
place
I
to
have
go. This
I
is
have a
the
really fun place to go.
markiest place to go,
Okay,
and I'm going to do
interesting.
it. Which is that like, what if this is some grand plan by Cody that he's like going to trick Vince into signing him, and then at Mania he fucking pulls a screw job, pins, you know what I mean? Like he's supposed to lose the match against like Roman or some shit, right? And then he pins him, right? He holds Roman down, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And he goes,
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
he gets the fucking ref in on it. 1, 2, 3, and then he holds up the WWE Championship, rips off his shirt, it says AEW, you know what I'm saying? And then he's like, I don't give a fuck, sue me. Who gives a shit? Because I got a Tony Khan's lawyers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now we pulled the heist of the century where I tricked Vince into thinking that I was back under the contract. That is the most fun thing that could happen, to the point where my mind would explode. That would be wrestling at a next level that we've never.
Yeah.
And what I mean by wrestling is that when this shit kind of happens, if you're if you're someone listening to the show and you're ever like, you're sitting in the car next to your sig of, and you're trying to tolerate this podcast and why they like wrestling, this is parts for you, okay? Not for the mark. Which, like, this is what we like about pro wrestling, is we like the business. Like, we like the behind the scenes. We like all the unscripted drama that comes with, I'm trying to explain in the most plain terms, that comes with that fact that this is an entertainment company. You know what I mean? With contracts and everything's decided and scripted. The drama of any theater production. But now you have rival theater productions fighting over cast. This is when it gets fucking great. You know what I mean?
I mean, this is what when this all started, like 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it is now. And this is where we were, right, Dan? This is what we were talking about. Like these thoughts that were run through our minds. Like, is
Right.
it possible? Probably not. No one would ever do it. It would never happen. And guess what? It's fucking happening. And it's
Oh
happening
my
way
God.
sooner than I would have ever thought.
Too low. 5 million thoughts.
So many thoughts. It's
Here's
dude.
my next thought, which is that.
Yeah.
So my next thought. I'm sorry. I'm just.
No,
I
go.
don't even want to lose this.
Go, man. Just go.
This is breaking. Is that okay? So
Breaking thoughts.
my first thought was also like, yo, does this fuck up AEW? Okay,
Oh,
the foundation of AEW, meaning like, yo, we kind of all bought into AEW because from this core group of guys who came over and they're like, we're gonna start something that's anti-establishment, and it's AEW. But now you're kind of seeing that there's a kayfabe in who owns this company, and it just stops at the billionaire class, Tony Khan, who essentially is the same thing as Vince McMahon when it comes down to it. He's a guy negotiating
yo,
contracts, right, with his talent. And that Tony Khan has been a little bit exposed here, right? Because he can't, in the same way where it's like
he
he
can't help
can't,
himself.
right? And
He's
now
got
he's letting
Punk,
contracts expire,
Danielson. Yeah.
right? And it's like, oh shit. So now you're like, okay, now we're seeing an even playing field. And if we get
Uh,
enough talent rolling back to
uh-huh.
WWE, like the Codys, what do we see? Is AEW, which was like, oh, this is where wrestling's headed and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. Is it where it's headed? It's just that we have a rival company and another fucking lunatic billionaire. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
it's crazy, man.
I just think that the fact that Tony Khan would even let Cody go is so fucking interesting. There's
Huh?
so much more I would love to know. Now, at the end of the day, let's just go gut. Gut is Cody's expensive as shit, and his company's not really making money. You know what I mean? That's where my guts really go. Is that at the end of the day, Cody's just doing the math and just going like, look, Vince, and let's go to jump over to the other company, Nick Khan and WWE. We all sleep on WWE, but this is a company that survives it all. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh my god, they're letting all this talent go, and us, a bunch of fucking marks, being like, oh, they're letting Braun Strowman go. Oh, they let Malachi Black go. And they're like, yeah, but honestly, all we need to do is buy one guy. The bottom Jenga piece, you know what I mean? Like the piece that makes it all crumble. And it's like, if we just buy Cody, right? If we buy the guy who's smashing the fucking throne, right? If we buy that guy, we prove all that all you marks have egg on your face. You all forgot that, like,
We
that
are
WWE's the New
WWE.
York Yankees,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean? And that ultimately MJF can be bought, CM Punk can be bought back. These guys can all be bought if Cody can be bought. So no, I feel like Cody going means that like he's now removing the example of like we are AEW, and I think now AEW is in the next phase now where they've now shown themselves to be a wrestling business as opposed to a and I've saw it with as opposed to a movement, right? Now I
Yeah.
saw that with the improv theater I performed at. Okay, Upright Citizens Brigade, very famous place. You know, I performed there, and for a while, we were all happy to not get paid. It was a movement. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it was like what we're doing on that stage is like we're fucking it's a little culty, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I don't mean that a culty can be negative, but a lot of great things come out of a culty mentality, like AEW, where it's like we're all on the same page, above transcending business while being exploited. Right, we're all, Tony. People are making money. Somebody's going all the way to the bank with your heart, right? That's how it always goes, right? But at the same time, you're being exploited, and but it's for the good of a movement of taking professional wrestling, an art form that we love, in a direction that it needs to go. And there's going to be sacrifice there, but it's heart. It's all heart. And that, I think, with Cody leaving, is a little bit shattered. Shattered dreams, folks. Um, and I don't think that it's going to be like, oh, we don't love AEW anymore. AEW's still going to fucking rule. Tony Khan is still a mark billionaire. And Vince McMahon is not a mark billionaire. He's running an entertainment enterprise, right? His goal is to get guys on mainstream stuff. Tony Khan is looking to like do the markiest shit, have you celebrate professional wrestling in its purest, like almost indie form, right? So just to sum up my whole point here, which is like I think Cody going over is taking us into this next realm where I think it makes WWE a little more relevant again. And I think it's interesting that they fired all those people and then they buy the one piece. And then that one piece is so instrumental. It's the same way AEW bought Jericho. It's like the same things that you only need to make one surgical move to shift the zeitgeist. TNA did it with Kurt Angle, They like, well, it's pulling Kurt Angle, but they were never able to really break through in that same kind of way. Because I don't think they had the same money or lunacy that a Tony Khan has behind him. And also, this is like real pre-internet, right? You have pre-IWC, the access to indie wrestling in the way it is now. So I just think we're seeing a very, very, very exciting time. Tulo, I will let you respond to all that. Sorry, I went on a diatribe there.
Like the more you talk about it, the more you keep thinking about it.
Yeah. There's so many facets to it because my
Like,
brain goes.
oh, what if Tony counters with signing Shane?
Well,
Fuck
Shane
it.
showing up in AEW is another thing that is the equivalent to this, right? It's the equivalent move. Shane popping up in AEW as the like GM or something is another thing where all right, this is for the spouse sitting along while this podcast is on. You're on a road trip. You're like, I'll zone out. Yeah, listen to your podcast, honey. I'm trying to make this relationship work, but I hate the wrestling. And I said honey. I kind of made it sound female, but you know what I mean. All right, is like shoot buying Vince's son is what makes wrestling, right? That's what makes wrestling. It's a dirty business. You know what I mean?
Bro, this is it's so crazy, man. It's like it's what honestly I live for. Like I love watching the takes on Twitter and like people reacting. I love thinking all the possibilities because now more than ever, it's more realistic to think about what could happen. Like I will 100% guarantee you that we will see Matt Cardona versus fucking Cody Rhodes for the NWA title. I even am thinking that Cody may sweep in and scoop up Ring of Honor or something, like get another person and now you have a third company. I'm starting to think that Tony Khan is expanding and is thinking about running territories. He's handing out contracts to Nick Wayne, a 16-year-old star. He's got Darby Allin going to indie shows, handing contracts over. This is a wild, wild time, and
I
this
think
right
Tony Khan
here,
is compressed. I think he's minimizing. Is my theory.
like the like Mission Impossible theme, right? And
Yeah.
it's like all it takes is one like they, AW coming to the into the mix and being what they are now was that huge change. But this is the spark and the fuse is lit now, and I think shit's gonna get even crazier. Like even if Cody doesn't go to WWE, right? Even if he doesn't, there's still so much that he could do that could really like be just as crazy.
Too low.
But the opportunity that he is going to WWE and that he will probably have a 75,000 foot cape. My thing was imagine Cody's entrance with Saudi money, like
I have so many things to say. So first thing, is Cody leaving? This is the thought. Is Cody leaving AEW the fans' fault in any capacity? And I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say that there is a part, and I'm not even saying I'm saying 5%, okay? Of 5% when he was making his decision, right? He was a little bit like, well, they're already booing me, right? I might have already run I've already run the gamut of what I can do here. Where it's like if I'm gonna get booed, I'm saying I believe that him and Dustin and Brandy, Arn, whoever that was involved, I think part of them were like, look, you're already turning here. You might as well take the cash and go get booed for it. Get real heat by going to WWE. Now you're a real turncoat. So if you ever come back, you're the biggest heel in the business.
oh well,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean that's the ultimate goal. There's what's the real story is, right? No matter where the work lies, no matter where it is, right?
Okay.
The real story is the return back to AEW.
Yeah,
wherever he does go. Now, if he goes to WWE and fails, or fucking looks like an idiot, or like does shit because he's just getting paid, when he comes back, the mics, like
right.
fucking promos that are gonna happen are gonna be insane. And he, like you said, he can also come back and be the biggest heel. Start doing the pedigree.
But it's all heat in wrestling. The promos against him, the promos against him are going to be so good. They'll make the
Yeah.
other guy look good. He's smart enough. It's like MJF fodder, you know. It's just going to make him look so fucking good. Here's the thing, though. All right, here's the only fucking downside I see. Okay, for Cody, because I think this is a win-win for him. I think this is him being ahead of the curve, right?
Mhm,
It's what makes
mhm,
him better than a lot of other guys. It's like
mhm.
he was like,
Great
yo,
point.
at the end of the
Fucking
day,
great point
wrestling's business, and he probably had his dad in his ear, in his head, in his mind, in his
Yeah.
heart. You know what I mean? Though if he did, I was thinking about that in the shower. I was thinking about the showers that the end of his dad's
Where all my
career
best wrestling
was in
takes happen.
WWE, and that's known as like the most jabroni
Well, the
zone
Dusty Rhodes
or
Classic
Dusty.
Finals are tonight.
Right. Oh, that's hilarious. And
I
so
see Cody on TV.
the black and yellow, you know, Dusty is known as Jabroni Dusty. So what I'm saying is this: is that is here's the problem. The problem is that like, yeah, this is cool, but we're not talking about the same WWE anymore. That's the problem. And we might be headed back there and blah, blah, blah. And by the way, if I just want to point out to you, Kevin Owens might have smartly stayed in WWE, you know what I mean? But let's say this is that it's not the same. And so what I mean by that is that you're looking at a company that has a very, very, very dead mid card, right? And is Cody gonna get the treatment that he needs in WWE? And no one is ever guaranteed that treatment, which is like the big matches in WWE for Cody, right? The two matches for Mania are what? Roman and
Either Roman, Seth, or Triple H.
Roman and Triple H. Sorry, Triple H. Seth is a great match, but Seth's not really in his zone to capitalize on the Cody story. He's too goofy right now. You know, they'd have to really turn him. He'd have to take off the suits and he'd have to get into work rate Seth, like burn it down Seth freaking Rollins mode.
So here's the thing. The promos against Cody in WWE have to be slick. So it's got to be someone slick on a mic. It most likely be the Heyman, or, you know, it's got to be someone who can cut a promo against him. Seth, very slick with the mic, could say really good things against Cody. But I mean,
I'm saying, I'm sorry, I'm just like thinking, like you know, like Miz. There's things for him to do, but I'm just saying, ultimate. And to be honest, a lot of the things there is for him to do are better than the stuff for him in AEW. Like he had what?
Bro, have him debut in Saudi and have him win the chamber. Like, I don't even fucking care. Have him. Vince is like, that's it, Austin Theory, you're out. Cody, you're in.
I was just thinking randomly how funny it is that MJF calls Punk PG Punk. I love that. Yeah. But it's so good, and to be honest, it cuts Punk down so hard. It makes me think Punk's such a jabroni because it's such a great call, PG Punk.
Well, that's when he said it in Long Island, and that's when I started like really getting on board. I'm like, he is kind of PG Punk, isn't he?
The thing is this: is that Cody will be a big deal in WWE. Like, I think that and AEW, WWE probably threw so much money at him. They got so much money. First off, their record profits right now, and they cut so many people from their roster. If they give like 4 salaries to him, you know what I mean? And him and Brandy have that. You know, I think they're looking for guys they can make a star, and Cody's now kind of proven that he has more star power, and I think they're looking to do some cool shit with him. You know, there's a lot of room there.
Bro, you know, they got us doing exactly what they want.
I think Vince respects Cody now. Like, we'll see that. I don't think he's looking to buy him and hate. I think he's like, hey, that was pretty you became a fucking man. Like, that was pretty fucking cool. Like, I don't think Cody would go to WWE without well, I'm saying, here's my point. I don't think Cody would go to WWE if he didn't have a conversation with Vince where he felt like, wow, Vince respects me. You know what I'm saying? There's no guarantees with Vince McMahon. He's not an idiot. But look, Kevin Owens, Seth, Roman, Charlotte,
AJ,
AJ, right? Exactly. AJ, Austin Theory. The guys that Vince
AJ
likes.
Cody would be sick.
And I think he's feeling like he's going to like me, But what the fuck can Cody do? I don't know. It's
It's
so interesting because it's so
it all
involved.
comes. It is still the current state of WWE is not any good. Could Cody does Cody going to WWE
Right.
change that? I don't know. I don't. They don't have my trust right now to believe. But will I tune in to see what this is? What 1,000%. If you're a mark, like there's the real stubborn marks out there that will be like, I'm still not going to tune in. That's fine. You
Right.
live your life the way you want to, but you're going to be missing probably some of the craziest shit you've ever seen in your life if he shows up in WWE. And it is either going to be the craziest shit in a great way or like typical WWE shit. And if that's the case, okay, you move on. But I
So
don't think here's a major point I want to make
yeah,
though.
yeah.
I don't think Cody leaving AEW affects them because the level of talent that they have there right now. I mean, Kenny's not even there. I'm wearing Kenny's shirt on purpose today
Right.
because Kenny comes back. They got Mox, they got Danielson, they got Punk. I mean, they're building stars left and right over there. Britt Baker, Adam Cole, like Jesus, the list is never ending. Rusev's not even in. Keith Lee's here now. Like I'm Hangman, Adam Page, I didn't even Sammy Guevara. I mean, the list is endless. Cody leaves. Honestly, it was they needed people to start stepping back, and this is just it's just perfect timing for all parties involved.
It's perfect timing for all. Like it is kind of this weird thing that where I get how this decision was
God, I
made.
love this shit
There's a
so fucking
whole
much.
WWE needs him, and AEW it doesn't need him right now. But it is just weird because I guess what I'm talking about, what is hurt to me, and I don't think it's inevitable, is the movement aspect. Like Cody led this movement,
But I
and
don't think it is though, dude, because there's so many guys that are still there that also led that movement too. It's like
yeah, but are you gonna
now
say
the
that? Well,
focus,
now Kenny, like
come
he's
on,
setting this
that
precedent.
elevates Kenny and the Bucks so massively now.
Has any
So
talent
massively.
went from WWE to AEW yet? From AEW to WWE yet?
No,
Is this the first talent that's jumping back?
this would be the first talent. Yes. That's what I'm saying. It's important. It's like
Not,
he's
I,
got to be the first one. Why would you start thinking like that's what I'm saying? These contracts are going to be expiring. He's got to be the first one to do it if he's going to do it because he'll know how to control
yeah,
that
he's
narrative.
ahead of the curve, right? Because it's
They'll
like,
take they'll take somebody else like a Lance Archer, let's say, and that shit won't matter. Like it's insignificant him going to WWE. But Cody is the only one that would really have any kind of say or pull in all this. And it's interesting to see what it starts. It makes MJF going over there more realistic if he does it. So it's like, all
okay,
right,
so let's take it a couple steps back. Do you see Jericho coming back? Yes.
one hundred percent. Actually, I actually thought he was gonna be the first one,
I think
and
Jericho will go
and
back
he
because I
teased,
think that Tony Khan is gonna. He's paying him a shit ton of money, and I think he'll be like, I think he's
and
a guy.
Jericho could go back there and do great work in WWE, great work in
Yeah,
WWE.
yeah, yeah.
Because
Wow.
he'll fucking bend the knee. He'll collect paychecks to do fucking Festival of Friendship too.
Yeah,
Like with Kevin Owens. Like he'll do the whole fucking tour again.
yeah.
He'll do that shit. And it's different. Like I honestly would love if Jericho went over there more so because it frees up even more room in AEW again. Like I said, the talent over there is insane.
Paradigm shift. Uh, wow, man.
It's such an
So,
exciting time. So
okay,
just do
let's
it.
do some Let's do some marking out. Okay. Do you think Cody has a match at Mania this year?
Yes.
And do you think that that was part of the negotiation?
Yes.
Definitely. And do you think that it's a big time match?
Yes.
I don't think Triple H is healthy enough to wrestle. So I don't think it'll be Triple H though. That would be just I mean, oh my god, would that be cool? You know?
It's the ideal match. It's number one. It's a main event match. Cody, Triple H, the beef. You do the whole entire. They never touch each other until fucking Mania. They just fucking go back and forth talking all the beef about the smashing of the throne. Wrestling only has one royal family. This and this. That. Cody's like, I'm coming over here to wrestle you on your brand, and I'm gonna beat you and embarrass you. Like the same way we beat you fucking your NXT brand too that you don't even have and it's not even fucking anything of what it was. Boom. That's it. That's the fucking thing. You book it like that, it will get so much fucking heat. It will be insane.
Is there any chance we see Roman Cody?
Yeah.
Because right now the match at Brock said he's
Brock-
going to wrestle Roman, right? But Brock can always switch to Lashley, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, and Brock won the Rumble. So like, if he loses the Chamber, which he probably should, and Lashley should win, Brock should just be like, I'm fucking coming for Lashley. And then when that happens, fucking Cody's coming.
Because part of me thinks it's because they have Roman in this Goldberg throwaway match, kind of, right? So it's they're not at all, but they're doing the same thing to Becky, right? Becky just is wrestling Lita. These are just they're giving them like they're giving them whatever fantasy matches, like stunt matches for Saudi money, just so they're like, hey, you're getting shit that you're paying for,
So another point too.
Yeah.
There's all these rumors that WWE's trying to get Stone Cold to fucking wrestle at Mania.
They're talking about getting Stone Cold KO, right? That's the match I read about. I mean, I gotta be honest, I don't want to see that. But fine.
Just saw in the Discord that they're offering buy one get one free tickets at Mania right now.
Wait, for the second day?
Like, yeah, I got you buy one.
Is that true?
Buy one.
I gotta buy those today. We're talking about going. You hear that?
Got tickets to SummerSlam. It's advertised as a Valentine's Day promo too.
When is it?
Valentine.
When is it right now? I could probably get Mania tickets. I feel like they're going to be giving away Mania tickets.
Dude, if they're offering buy one get, why would you buy tickets when they're trying to fucking give them away for free in the first place?
Yeah.
This is the year everybody's getting fucking like 20 tickets to give to people.
Yeah, because they're
going to want 100,000 people on there. Yeah, they're not going to sell 2 nights in a row. It'll be 60,000 max in that place. Remember, I brought that point up.
Yeah.
But you get Stone Cold to wrestle. You fucking they're gonna do whatever it takes to get that to sell more tickets to that fucking thing. Crazy, dude.
Just nuts. It's very fortunate because literally this morning I was having a discussion about Mania, and I was like, "Oh man, like I don't care about this Mania at all, right?"
I mean, you're going if Cody's wrestling,
but
right?
if you add now you're talking about there's a couple matches they can add where you're like, and if
Stone
Cody's
Cold versus
wrestling
KO,
at all, if Stone Cold's wrestling, it's just kind of like, yeah. I mean, do you think Stone Cold's in shape to wrestle? I mean, they're probably just like, they know they need a big match, and they're in Texas. They just know it. This is 100,000 people, and they're not in the zone right now at all.
Not even close.
No, I mean,
the Saudi show's not doing them any favors either. So it's like,
no, in terms of excitement. Wow. I turned on Raw. Just jump to that for a sec.
Bro, you know how I'm like, I watch like through social media. They don't even fucking show anything. I haven't seen anything on social media WWE about what's going on in their product right now.
Sierra Hotel, Echo, Bravo, India, Romeo,
Whoa.
Oscar.
Oh my God. Are we getting a
What
is this? Oh my God. Former Cal champion Jason Shapiro.
Your shoulders look great.
This is huge. Is it from Hawaii, I assume, based on the music.
Hey guys, I just want to say mahalo for your kukua. It's great to be back.
Mahalo for my kukua?
Yeah, that's right.
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
Absolutely. Don't disrespect the language, man. I'm in no mood for that shit.
I feel like I'm on the set of a porno with this. You got your top, popped, the blurry background, like you don't want us to see what's going on behind you. Like, what's going on?
It's just a bunch of loose cum. I think my room is just covered in cum.
Wait, this is what Shep, shut up for 1 second. We were having
been a while.
We were doing PG Punk, and then you put us back.
PG Punk, you say, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I just happened to see a clip on Instagram where I watch most of my wrestling these days of AJ Lee making out with the Big Red Machine Kane.
I saw that also.
Yeah, because I sent it to you.
Did you crank it to that?
100%. Pure.
Looks
love.
like that's why the fucking background's blurred.
Shebs,
Yeah.
we've just kind of wrapped up talking about Cody, but I'm very happy to hear all of your thoughts about this Cody situation.
Honestly, I'm not usually happy to hear any of Shebs' thoughts, but I am very excited to hear this.
Okay. Well,
Sheb
I
showed up, and
appreciate that.
so did we had a rare appearance of Tulo's Life Rips, Chris D'Elia homage tattoo.
Nice. Okay,
Okay.
great. I'm glad. I'm glad to share the stage
Evil
with such an esteemed tattoo.
Shebs, where are you at? Where are you at on this?
I'm in Honolulu.
No. That's not at all what I said. You just texted
What?
me to let me in.
That's whenever I'm in the waiting room to get to the podcast. You gotta let me in.
Oh man. So
Like,
Shebs, we've talked about every element of this. Let's see if you have a thought that we haven't covered about this Cody situation.
Well, you're not talking about the human element, okay? Which is that Cody Rhodes
How do you know?
is a
Maybe I
man.
kicked this pot off and was like, we got to talk about the human element.
First and foremost, Cody Rhodes is a man above all else.
Yeah.
And I don't think that there is, I'll say it, anybody in professional wrestling today who has the wrestling brain that Cody Rhodes has. This guy is the closest thing we have to Vince McMahon alive today in the business. He sees all the angles. He understands storytelling. He knows how to cut promos. He knows how to book matches.
More than Pete Dunne, you would say?
I'd say more than Pete Dunne. I'd say more than Pete Rose, who's a Hall of Famer.
How about more than Bearcat Lee? Would you say more than
Hall of Famer?
More or less than Bearcat Lee?
Bork-Cat Lee. We're gonna call him Bork-Cat from now on.
More or less than Borscht Belt Lee.
Borscht Belt Lee. No, look, guys, we're getting off track here. I'm just saying Cody's a very special talent.
Would you say that he's
someone you idolize?
Yes, I would. And obviously, I assume there's gonna be the Triple H feud at some point, right? That has to happen. I assume you guys said that.
We'll see if Triple H is he had a heart attack, right?
Did he?
Yeah, like
months ago.
7 months ago. Yeah.
I thought he'd just been having one elongated heart attack since the Attitude Era. I just assumed he seemed like he was like, oh,
is it a perpetual heart attack?
This is my religion. Like it just sounds like the guy was going through some arterial cloggage.
He does feel like a guy who's in a perpetual heart attack.
Yeah, he's been having a 35-year heart attack since I knew him. But I wish him a speedy recovery, or more accurately in Triple H, a nice slow recovery, a slow burn. No, I mean, look, Cody Rhodes.
Is this on? Yo, Jimmy, hit me with that Triple H.
It's on.
Becomes trouble. All right. Cut his music. Yeah, I mean, Cody's going to WWE. That's insane. But we all knew it was going to happen. I knew the minute AEW was formed. I'm like, the big money here, like the biggest thing in the world is going to be when he goes back to WWE, a huger star than when he left. We always knew that was going to happen. I just didn't know it was going to happen so soon. I'm a little surprised at the time. But if Triple H has got that heart attack brewing, maybe it's because, now that he's on year 14 of the heart attack, he's saying, well, I don't know how many matches I got left in me. So maybe now's the time.
I mean, I will make one point I want to add to this that we didn't talk about, and I'm kind of glad Shebs is here too, but I mean, does this not make Malachi Black's character look even cooler? Like he started this whole thing. Like
it's very cool that he was like,
Cody.
he's like, I did that. Like when he lost that match, he's like, yeah, but I accomplished what I was trying to do, which was make Cody like irrelevant. But that being said, he made him out of AEW into more relevancy, but that's fine.
Right. Well, I mean, the full Cody analysis is this is the perfect time to do it because he's not really super relevant on any major storylines that need him anymore. And the interesting thing about AEW is it's mission accomplished, right? When this thing launched, it was Kenny Omega, the Bucks, Cody. Those are the biggest stars. We got Jericho. Wow. It was like, okay, they needed to set this thing in motion. Yeah. I don't give a fuck what the Bucks are doing right now.
Terrific point. Mission accomplished.
The Bucks don't matter. Kenny's not even there. And
well, that's what I said, Shabir, to that point, though. This makes the Bucks and Kenny matter more now, I think.
No, but
they're the ones that are left, But that's what I'm saying is like this could be their resurgence. Now Kenny coming back is even bigger.
So it could be, but that's
now
sort
I
of
want Kenny in AEW. I was like,
Yeah,
now-
yeah.
I'm saying that's sort of a
WWE.
separate, sort of a tangential point, though. The point I'm making, though, is that this company, which was the Elite's company, does not need any of those people for it to be a viable product with a booming fan base with an incredible
Very
product.
true. I
So
made
I'm
that
saying-
point about Cody. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So the thing is this, this is the right time for him to go. And let me tell you something else. He'll be back to AEW.
we talked about that.
and
yeah.
that's going to be even bigger.
Because it's
Yeah.
like that's what I was saying is that 'cause my point was this, and Chebs, I want you to weigh in on this.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to believe that there's a percentage of Cody making decisions that has to do with the fans booing him, and I believe that it did factor in, but not in some way where he's like some dumb mark who can't be booed. He's like, look, I'm already turning that corner, right? Where like, you know what I mean? Like you say, you live long enough to become the villain or you die a hero. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's like in that zone.
You got
where
that
he's
backwards,
like,
but yeah.
Right. Yeah, I said it completely backwards because I was
Right.
correcting it as I started it. You know
Got
what I
it.
mean? Which is
Mhm.
funny because you said mission accomplished. It makes me think of George Bush. It makes me think of the shame on you thing. But
Mhm.
anyway, so
Fool me once.
yeah, fool me once.
Shame on you.
What I'm saying is you
Fool me
can't trick me twice. But you know what I'm saying is that like I think there's a part of it where he was like, look, I'm starting to spoil here a little bit, right? I'm getting into that where I could do 8 years of that Cena getting booed zone, right? Or he could lean as far into that as possible, which is a win-win for both companies where he goes to WWE, goes to the bigger platform, increases his star power, gets paid a big, huge chunk of money. Vince probably respects him a shit ton now because he's like, wow, I really sent you off. Plus, Vince is like, I still made you. Vince is still taking credit for him. It's kind of a win-win. And then if you ever come back to AEW, he's getting the heat that he was already getting times a million for leaving. So it's just like, it's fucking the move. It's just the move.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say, this is what I opened up by saying. Cody Rhodes has the best wrestling brain in the business right now. He understands. He's like in the Matrix. He is Neo. As far as I'm concerned, he's the Neo of professionally wrestling. He sees the right moves as they're happening. He knows. He just gets it in a way that none of these guys do. Because, I mean, look, the gimmickry is fantastic. The showmanship, the in-ring ability, the matches he puts on. Like, I can't believe I live in a time where people are like, oh, he's not that good in ring. I'm like, some of the best matches I've ever seen are Cody Rhodes matches.
Well, that
right?
Sammy match was like last week. That was like, you know what I mean? That match.
The
was
guy
like,
is on another level.
Yeah.
He's on a complete different level of wrestling. Dan, Nick, do you know anyone who is down with Cody Rhodes harder or earlier than me?
I'm not giving you any accolades. So
You should. Any podcast listener, I defy you. Go back as far as you can to archives. I've been singing this guy's praises since the day he was born. And I'll tell you, the one thing I always say is that there's every time I think there's a ceiling, like, oh yeah, he's great. That's a great IC thing. Yeah, he's there. He exceeds. Every expectation I have, he exceeds. To fucking starting a company and running it the guy's just exceeding. So I trust him fully. Whatever he's doing, I trust fully. Now, here's something you guys definitely didn't bring up. Maybe you did, but I'm going to say definitely.
Is it your shoulder hair?
No, my shoulder hair is actually buzzed down to it's at a 2 right now with a little bit of the silver fox. Well, that's actually the biggest story.
Your shoulder hair's at a 2. I could use it at a 10.
Let me tell you, give me a month, it'll get there.
You look like you got that. You look like you got that stuff that Cody had sprayed on him when he went through the burning table. By the way, did that for what reason now?
I mean, amazing. And by the way, that move was him doing offense.
Yeah.
He was one doing that move, and he was one who went through the burning table.
He took the full brunt of that, and then he scored a pin. I love
Right.
it. Like,
How do you not respect this guy? This guy's got my literally number one respect in all of wrestling. I give it to Cody Rhodes. He's my number one respected guy. But my shoulder hair, yeah, we're talking about that. Fine. The biggest story in wrestling this week is my vascularity, by the way. If you're not in the Facebook group,
yeah.
I posted a real thirst trap pick. Calmania season's coming, so who knows?
Yeah.
But here's the thing that maybe you guys weren't talking about this about Cody. And I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's an off chance. This isn't what I think is going on, but this is something I want to at least raise to the attention of the tribunal. Is there a chance that Cody goes to WWE, continues to show up on AEW, smashing the forbidden door, breaching contracts and saying, fuck all you hoes. This is my company. And I'm going to bring the profile up by creating the most page 6 TMZ buzz that this business has ever seen by being an active WWE wrestler, forbidden from showing up on AEW and then showing up on AEW anyway. Is there a chance that happens? Sub question, is there a chance he straight tanks his contract at WWE, rips it up, and then shows up in AEW and says,
We talked about that. So I talked about, that was the first thing I brought up. I was like, let's just go to the markiest realms of possibility, okay?
Right.
Which is like, the coolest thing he could do is pull the fucking Mania 38 screw job, right? Where
Right.
he's like, all right, I'm going to wrestle Roman. I'm going to eat the pin. And I did it for the paycheck. And then he figures out a way to finagle like, Roman tapped. You know what I mean?
Right,
And then he holds up the Universal title, rips his shirt off, and it says AEW. And then he fucks over Vince, right? That's the number one coolest thing he could do, right?
Absolutely.
And he would be a god of professional wrestling. He'd be the new CM Punk, weirdly, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, he'd be the number one. It'd be the biggest thing that ever happened.
Right. And I'm like, you know, and then he's like, well, he has Tony Khan behind him, was like, yo, I'm going to lawyer you up when this goes down. Like, I got your back. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing. Wrestling is not about lawyering up or getting your back or surviving it. Wrestling is about jumping off the cage.
Yeah.
It's about Hell in a Cell, Mankind taking the dive. It's about Randy the Ram saying, yeah, you're going to die if you wrestle one more match. He's like, yeah, well, I'm going to do it. All right. I think Cody Rhodes, because he understands wrestling, because he eats, sleeps, breathes wrestling, he would be like, don't even get me a lawyer, Tony. I'm just doing this. Whatever the fuck happens, baby. Let's go. I'm going to say there's a non-zero chance that he does some sort of screw job scenario.
A non-zero chance.
Yeah, that could be 0.0001%.
Non-zero chance. So was it great? Was that a Trump moment?
I don't even know what non-zero chance is from at this point, but it's in the ether.
Well, yeah. So can I just read you? Like this is I'm not even gonna tell you who it is, but just like, you know, on my Facebook and scroll it.
Yeah.
Here's just a tweet from a guy that somebody posted to be like, look at this great point. This isn't like, look at this dumb mark. This is like, look at this point.
Right.
It was never about a quote unquote revolution for Cody. It was about ego and money. Tony wasn't gonna give him Punk money, nor should he have. We'll see what old Vince does. It was always clear which of the EVPs would leave first. It was also clear which EVP wouldn't be missed internally. Like,
That's hurt.
right?
Cody
You know
hurt
what I mean?
that guy.
Like, that proves he made the right decision, right? When you're getting shit like this, right? That's being a worker, right?
Who
He's
posted that?
ahead of the curve here. This is
Who
a guy.
posted that?
Yeah, let's put this guy over. This is from everyone. Follow him right now, okay? Okay.
I refuse.
At Great Brian Last, the Great Brian Last. Okay.
I wonder how long he
Everyone
lasts.
I don't know.
Is he on
maybe-
Twitter or Instagram?
I don't know. Yo, look
Okay.
at this. All right, let's jump into the little
Hey.
meme corner here. Look at this meme.
Yeah, great.
But it's Vince. It's
Yeah,
not Drake. It's
I
Vince.
couldn't see because it's a little blurry.
It's Vince's. Yeah, I know. Normally I have Phil bring these up, but it's that. It's Stardust.
This is
and
what
It's
we're
Vince.
working with.
It's Vince looking at Cody, being like, "I don't like that," and then he's pointing at Stardust, being like, "Yeah, I'll take it." You know,
I love it.
Hotline Bling. Is that Hotline Bling?
Probably. It's
We
probably
love it, folks. We love Hotline Bling, don't we, folks?
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. So what? All right, let's just wrap because we're gonna end the pod kind of soon. I know we have so much more to talk about, but this is where we're going. It's fine. We'll record bonus app this week. We'll cover it all.
Yeah, we'll talk
Wow.
about The Rock. Whoa, that was weird.
I mean, The Rock at the Super Bowl, man. The only good part of the Super Bowl, absolutely. I mean, what that outfit was fucking incredible. It just
So jacked.
wasn't just a mauve matching top and bottom, right?
He was going monochromatic maroon.
He was so jacked, and I just love how he spins everything. It's like such bullshit, but I buy into it. Where he's just like, you know, my dream was to be at the Super Bowl, but it took it. You know, like it's weird how the universe works, and I got here in this capacity, and you're just like, all
Always
right,
finds
bro.
a way to
Whatever,
find
bro.
the mana.
But it's fine. I love it. I buy into it. but
Found the
whatever.
mana.
Yeah,
He is the single most charismatic human being that has ever lived.
charismatic showman.
Can I tell you something? I've gone on
Yeah.
record as saying that he will be president one day.
Yeah.
Right?
Me too.
There's no question.
Cody as the VP.
Cody is the VP of PP. That means he just pisses on things. The Rock is gonna be
The
president.
VP of Phil Pesapani?
Yeah, the VP of PP. But The Rock, there's no doubt in my mind he's going to be president. We know he's going to be president. That's a done deal. I don't even need to have a debate. It's not like, is he going to run? No, he's going to run and he's going to win. That's locked in. He has so much charisma. All right. He has more charisma than any other president. He's entering levels of charisma that I think the only person who maybe ever walked that had that level of charisma and that much followers is Jesus Christ. That's exactly right. We are entering a zone where The Rock will become president. It remains to be seen if he becomes Jesus Christ. Like he becomes a religion that is bigger than Christianity and Islam and Buddhism and Hinduism.
I mean, if they obviously their ticket would be Rock and Cody Rhodes, right? Like it'd be like Rocky Road, like right?
Rocky Road. Hey guys,
Rocky
America's on a rocky road right now.
Rocky Roads.
Yeah.
We're on a road to nowhere.
To be perfectly honest,
Rhodes.
I'd prefer if his VP was Mick Foley, so it could be the Rock and Sock Connection. Like, who you voting for? Oh, the Rock and Sock Connection, of course, obviously.
Is this Foley? Foley's main accolade is that he fell off of a cage.
Well, what does a VP really need to do other than shake hands and tell people to have a nice day? It's a very ceremonial position.
Wouldn't you love Cody as the VP in that fucking Homelander gear? With like the long ass fucking cape, you know what I mean? Tulo was making this point earlier, is that at Mania, and this is how we should end. I want to hear what you think Cody does at Mania, like not like what you want to see, what you think he does, But he was like, he'll walk down that ramp with the longest fucking jacket.
Like
so dope.
like Met Gala, like
yeah,
Lady
like Met Gala,
jacket.
like a wedding dress, you know what I mean? But like long,
Okay.
What match are you seeing for Cody at Mania this year? Like, what do you think we're gonna see?
Great question, because I haven't watched linear WWE product in so long. I don't even know what's going on. I mean, I watched obviously, the pay-per-view.
I just think Cody is so smart that I cannot see him taking a match even as low as Seth, which is like crazy because Seth is as high as it gets.
You think that?
I think they might give him Roman.
But isn't Roman gonna be fighting Brock?
Yeah, but isn't that the work? Like, because he also won the Rumble and can just wrestle Lashley. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but why the fuck would he want to wrestle Lashley?
He doesn't have a choice.
I mean, in storyline.
In story, he's feuding with Lashley. He's feuding way more with Lashley than Roman.
Here's the thing: as big of a deal as Cody Rhodes is,
right,
and as much as I know that he is, essentially he's the
not
Rock
Brock Lesnar. He's
of
not
wrestling.
Brock Lesnar.
Right. The bigger it's Brock versus Roman is still the money match. That's still the match that's gonna put asses in seats. That's still the match that Vince is gonna.
Well, what do you do with Cody?
I mean, I think Seth is a great point. I always envisioned Cody coming back and feuding with Triple H.
Well, but, Triple H might do it. Like, he might be not medically able to, but it is
right.
It is the match. And
I mean,
if Triple H, you'd have to. He's gonna be like, pump me up with whatever the fuck you need to put in my body, right?
He's like ivermectin, HGH, creatine from when Mark McGuire was on it, not the stuff you get at GNC, but original.
I want the McGuire shit or nothing.
I want the original creatine. I want original recipe for Loco. Give me everything that's been banned. I want
the original Four Loco.
I want Stacker 2.
Get
me Stacker 2. Get me Trim Spa, baby. I want all the hits. All right.
Oh my God. I mean, Triple H. The match is Triple H is the match, but
now, but what they could do, because Seth did something beautiful. He came out in Shield gear when he fought Roman at the Rumble. At the Roman Rumble.
Don't worry, he blew it on Raw again. He came out
Stardust gear.
Yeah. No, he's bringing back the hits. Maybe Triple H is the feud, but there's an authority angle. Seth is the proxy. So it's Triple H, it's Seth with Triple H kind of backing him up versus Cody. So you get the Triple H feud. You get the match against Seth because Cody-Seth is going to be such a beautiful in-ring spectacle where they're both going to be going through the fucking roof. Like they would those two guys together they'd go ham. So my match that I'm predicting is, look, we're still gonna put Triple H on Four Loco and Trim Spawn, all the good stuff. Yeah. He'll come in for a couple spots, but he's gonna be authoritying Seth Rollins to fight Cody at Mania. Yeah. And the angle is going to be a WWE.
He knows the only two matches he would agree to are something involving Triple H or something involving
The title.
Roman or
Right.
Brock. You can always wrestle
Or,
Brock.
but let me ask you this: you were so quick to throw Brock out of the picture and onto Lashley, right? And if they would put Brock on Lashley, could they not put Cody on Lashley? I mean, no one cares, and it seems insane. I don't even care. But like, that is a title shot, is it not?
No chance in hell.
Well, what if it's to win the belt? Sorry, the strap. No, it makes no sense. And by the way, that is a testament.
Cody AJ is something.
That is no.
But it's done. It's
nah. Cody AJ doesn't.
It's expired.
Cody AJ makes less sense than Cody.
There's
Lashley.
only 2 matches for him, and that's what I'm saying. The danger of him going over there is that without one of those 2 matches, it's gonna, you'll get over the heat of it really quick, you know, and like.
But that's the thing. Is he just being hot-shotted right into main event title picture status?
Yeah, 100%.
He has to be.
But you don't think, because here's the thing. We're all talking. Everyone's talking.
People are talking
Wait,
about
people
people.
guys,
talking.
Keep the podcast on 5 more minutes.
People.
Everyone is talking about the dream Marky scenario
Yes.
where Cody Rhodes rips up the contract on TV, says, fucking sue me, bro. I don't give a shit.
You can wrestle Sheamus if he's going to do that. You know?
Everyone's talking about that, right? I said that Cody Rhodes is the best wrestling brain since Vince McMahon. Is anyone talking about Vince McMahon using this to screw Cody? And he books him in a match against Shinsuke, keeps him grounded for life. He's basically grounded for life like a fucking Chris Elliott sitcom or whoever's fucking sitcom that was. Yeah. And he does nothing with him, but now he's under contract. So he's paying him money just to fucking fuck AEW over. Is Vince not capable of that scenario?
He's very capable, but there's everything's handshake.
No way, Cody.
You know?
What do you mean everything's handshake?
Like
I'm saying there's
over
no way
there,
Cody signs Cody's not signing a long-term deal.
You can't trust Vince. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's what I'm saying.
He knows that.
How long's his deal? We know.
No, there's no. He's not even technically signed to WWE. He just is officially announced that he left.
Rumors.
It's officially that he left AEW, but the rumors he's been going to WWE for a while, and it just feels I've heard it too much to not be true at this point.
Can I tell you something?
He's leaving AEW. Where's he going? Unless he doesn't want to wrestle. That's also another possibility. He might want to take some time off, but I don't know. You know, maybe
do the Go Big show. Can I tell you something? I have not been paying the closest
Go
attention.
Big show.
I was brought onto this podcast because I was told that it has been confirmed that Cody Rhodes is coming to WWE. You guys bringing me out here on speculation?
Well,
I mean,
it's like Fightful reporting it. It's one of those things. It seems to be when something bubbles to this point, it's never not been true. You know,
but him leaving AEW does not equal him announced signing WWE. This all could
but
be
a
a
lot
work.
of people have been saying he's going to WWE for a long time, and so I'm not surprised. And look, that being said, we're having fun with it. I would love if we go like, yo, he stayed in AEW. What a bunch of fucking dumb marks we are. Well, then we had a great conversation. Like that's the point of this shit.
No, yeah, there's no downside to this episode. I'm just saying that all things being equal, I think it's just as likely that he just goes nowhere, lets the speculation bubble percolate all the way through Mania, because then people are going to be talking about Cody Rhodes all the way until WrestleMania. There's going to be a specter on this big WWE event that Cody Rhodes might show up if he does not show up until Mania.
All right, I just thought of a match.
And then AEW has the upper hand that weekend.
What about
because Cody returns to AEW?
Cody Taker. That's a match you don't turn down.
Like that's a match you don't turn down. Unless you're Taker. Why the fuck would Taker do that?
Yeah, Taker doesn't think Cody's a big deal. There's no
way.
He
doesn't care. Taker is a WWE lifer.
I'm just trying to think of any match. Any match that is.
It's Seth. It's Roman. It's Brock. It's Triple H.
Happy Corbin.
Yeah. Madcap Moss. It hurts my mouth to even say that these guys exist right now. They're so bad. Who else is a big deal in WWE right now? Like,
I was watching WWE. The opening segment of Raw this week was so fucking terrible. It was like first of all, Riddle comes out in a toga. Do you see that? He comes out. He's on a scooter and a toga.
Ugh.
And Brock looked awesome though, and he used Austin Theory as a coat rack for his hat and his Brock's just on in his cowboy hat, but like Brock's on like a whole other level than the rest of these guys. It's ridiculous.
Well, because Brock is now, for the first time in my life, I'm seeing a Brock Lesnar who like genuinely loves pro wrestling.
Yeah,
and, loves.
he's having a fucking blast.
He's
I don't know if
loving
he's
it.
on like Prozac or something. Like,
Dude, I think he just checked his fucking bank account. It was like, oh yeah, I'm fucking rich. Like this thing gave me everything.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, he's collecting checks too. He's always on TV, and he's getting Saudi money this year too. He's making
rich.
more money probably now for WWE than he ever has, because
Yeah.
he's literally there every week, and his is like $100,000 every time he shows up.
Well,
And he's probably making like fucking $1 million a month.
Yo, I got a prediction for you guys.
yeah.
Huh? It's not spoiler.
I think next guy to go to WWE, this is my prediction from AEW, now that the Forbidden Door
Boy,
is open, which is the Forbidden Door is not
Punk.
like New Japan guys. The Forbidden Door is going back to WWE.
The forbidden door swings both ways.
Yeah.
It's the forbidden revolving door.
The forbidden revolving door.
Yeah.
Who do you
I
it's gonna
think
be?
I think Wardlow gets stolen. I think Wardlow gets fucking stolen because they're gonna start. Nick Khan's gonna start. He's smart. He's watching. He's like, I'm gonna cut all these guys who won't actually make a thing. But I'm gonna start stealing their stars once their contracts come up. The younger guys. You know what I mean? Pick
Sure.
them off. Pick them off. Yo, take Darby. Just steal Darby. You know what I mean?
WWE will never take Darby
They
Allin.
make so much money with Darby. You have him jump off shit. They would make him be the new Jeff Hardy, like in 09 Jeff Hardy or whatever. You know?
Imagine if they had
Make
Darby
him
during
IC
that Money in the Bank
champion,
match.
you know? He's small, but he would make so much money. You never make him a heavyweight champion, right? You just have him jump off shit and, right, give him the fucking U.S. title or whatever, you know?
You know what
That
would
still
actually be
exists?
cool? If Cody wrestled at Mania and lost, but then won the briefcase and made the briefcase actually relevant.
Well, the briefcase is not
Cody
at Mania
Edge?
anymore.
Sorry,
No,
is
like
Edge
I'm
a
saying,
match?
lose and next month is Money in the
Yeah. That could be cool. Edge.
Is Edge,
Look,
do you take an Edge
I mean, I
match?
put Edge almost in the same category as Orton, where it's like it's a great match. It's a very cool match, but doesn't have enough cachet for Cody to come back to do. I don't know, because you know I'm a big Orton guy.
You're one of the top Orton guys.
I'm possibly the top.
Yeah,
Randy
but Orton
guy.
Cody's just not it's not great because
Well, they
Orton-
have Legacy.
Well,
Orton used to be his daddy when he was in his stable of Legacy. So if they had time to build that up and sell it, it could be a beautiful situation.
Okay.
Bring back little Teddy DiBiase.
Go to the Dynasty. Yeah, I mean, they go Legacy.
Legacy.
All right. Anyway, look, I got to run. What a fucking great conversation. I mean, there's nothing else to say. What a very exciting time. At the same time, Cody, you cannot knock Cody for he's able to move. He's getting people worked up. At the same time, had like one of the dopest cutters, which by the way, people have been requesting me and you, Shebs, to get the RKO ranking on that cutter. People want to know what the execution is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's always wonders what the execution level is, but it's not a Randall Keith Orton RKO, so I don't know if I have the chops to evaluate it, but we probably should do a bonus episode that's just 7 minutes long of us talking about that. I'll have to talk to the lab and see if I can get
the Amazon. Is it
kits.
still opening post-COVID or what's going on?
Yeah, you know, I gotta see if I can get the kits, the test kits. I left them in the lab. I got, all my instruments are down there, and the only person with the key is Kim Orton. So I gotta ask her if she'll let me into the lab for an emergency sesh.
Yeah, okay. Anyway. All right, everybody. Fucking good combo. Let's see where this goes. Shebs, thanks for stopping by. Tulo, thanks for
Thanks,
stopping
man.
by.
Yo,
Great stuff.
Shebs, thanks for coming by.
Pick up. Well, it stops right there.
Thanks.
It picks up right here. And here being patreon.com/comedians of wrestling. We'll have the bonus episode. We'll come out. We'll talk about Dynamite this week. See if they acknowledge Cody. This is WWE's, I think, for AEW's first time where I think they're gonna just have to just ignore something, maybe. Oh,
Yeah.
they'll probably say goodbye.
We
to
don't
him,
know.
'cause
We don't
they'll
know.
probably say, well, it's gonna be fun. We'll see.
that's what someone was saying in Discord. It's like they're gonna ignore it. I'm like, why would they ignore it?
No, they're
AEW
not.
talks
They're gonna
about
be
everything.
Cody's
They're
gone, and they're gonna just be like, hey, and they're gonna show Tony Khan's tweet on the screen and just be like, he's one of the fucking most important guys to this company, and we wish him well on his future endeavors.
I'd be sick. I hope they say it.
I mean, it still sounds like it could be a work to me. Is the video for this episode going on YouTube?
Yes.
Then everyone make sure you tune into the end of this podcast. I'm flexing. You can see how good I look.
Come
I'm
and see how
getting-
good Chebs looks.
I'm looking good. Oh,
Okay.
Calmania season
Hey,
is upon us.
yeah, you know. Hey,
The-
maybe
the beast
there's
will
some- you know,
rise
maybe
again.
maybe there's something to talk
I'll
about.
be in Dallas.
Hey, everybody,
I'll be in Dallas.
keep watching wrestling. Kisses. Cheers up.